have to be self-motivated, honestly. But
Yeah, even in high school, there was no one there really to hold your hand. It was like either, it was available to you, or it was like, you want to slack, you can slack.
Yeah.
because, which they've changed now, but when Erin was going, she could go to the college as a senior. She could get college courses.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Was it like a running start?
Well, kind of, because CMC, Colorado Mountain College, she could get a bunch of classes done as a senior.
We should go to their
And which was
Right start.
It looks better
When
in
you go to
camera.
college with credits already.
Well, she went into college as not a freshman. It was sophomore.
Yeah. So
And we
should've
didn't
done
pay a
that.
dime
Yeah.
because the school,
yeah,
and it was like,
that's where I went wrong. I should have done that.
but they don't do it now. But it was really a nice thing.
So we asked somebody to go up to the gift shop. I mean,
She was the one who was like, not us.
But it is interesting, like because I was exposed to the high school kids through the street team. And some of the language skills are, and I think that's something that's just evolving, like you say, maybe it's because of the electronics or whatever, but just any number of times I would say something to the group of kids. I mean, we're talking about a really motivated group of kids. I mean, they by far and away have the highest grade point average of any of the athletic teams because they track that,
To make sure you have to have a certificate.
Well, they track the average, the grade point averages of all the sports teams.
Yeah.
And the Nordic team was the Nordic team was light years above any other sport team. So it was one of those things where, as a group, you knew you had, the kids
On the Nordic team.
on the Nordic team were, almost kind of like a bunch of nerds, But every once in a while, you'd say something to them, and you'd look at them and like, they didn't understand what I just said. And like one of the words I remember was I was sitting in the bus and we were talking about the race course, and I said you have to be cognizant of certain things, and they looked at me like, cognizant? What the hell are you talking about? And I'm like,
Okay, be aware.
be aware of certain things, and they were like, like not one of them in the whole team they understood the word cognizant. I was like, okay.
Vocabulary is really not there.
Well, that's what you used to always give me and Michael.
It's amazing the words that Michael and Alicia didn't know.
She'd be like, really?
You don't know the meaning
Get
of
out of
words?
the dictionary.
Well, I threatened him that we were going to do the day of word thing. The word a
I
day.
ended up
thing.
doing fine. Feel you.
I know.
Why don't you taste that lettuce?
But I think
It's really got a good dressing on it.
I think it's just something that's evolving. I mean, like the language thing, I just don't know that it's just. Well, it's
You know
just
what?
something
You're going to
that's,
hurt
like I said, I
hurt
think
our
it's just
feelings
something that
because
culture is
with your therapist,
changing in
you
the
took
sense
the
that,
bite,
like I
you
say,
took a
the
good
technology
bite of
has
the
something to
granola
do
bar.
with
Now, you need to
Well, and
do it for us, too.
There
was a granola bar.
Even the
This
good
is
kids
real.
that come from quote unquote good homes. I mean, the philosophy of parenting has changed so much.
Oh, yeah.
And I went to Northlake Middle School, which has got a really bad reputation, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And
North Lake is bad.
that's what I mean. It's always had a bad reputation, but it wasn't that bad. But I had this one girl that just was absolutely, totally belligerent. I mean, she was just in my face, so I finally went over.
I had ODE.
And she gave me that, it was kind of like make my day, lady. So I went over and I told her I stood over her and I said, stand up, pick up your stuff, and get up to the front of the class. You're creating havoc in the class. You're going to, sit up front. So finally, I mean, and you're so tempted to just, touch them. You can't. I mean, I was so tempted to pick her up and bodily move her, but you can't. And I mean, she's by far the most belligerent kid I've ever had. And so I finally got her to come up front, but then she turned around and faced the class. And I said, no, you will turn around and face the wall. That's why you're up here. And so finally she kind of halfway did it. And I thought, well, that's all I'm going to get out of her. And she says, when I first tried to make her do it, she says, because you're not my mother. And I said, it's a darn good thing. Because because you have to really be careful what you say.
I
too.
know.
And I said, it's a darn good thing. And so then I turned around and started walking back towards my desk, and I mean, there was no way anybody could hear me. But I turned around and I said, I don't think you have a mother. I think you were raised by a pack of wolves. I mean, no,
Mother.
but she says, you're not my mother. And I said, that's a darn good thing.
He needs a mother.
What?
But it is very interesting. Even our friend Marty Gervais has been a math teacher for middle school. You know, and you get some 30 kids, and they can't do anything. But he asked them to go
Send them
to the principal. Just go. You're disrupting class.
Yeah, you can go to the office.
So the kid was being a jerk, but he finally went. As he went out the door, Marty, as he left, Marty put his foot.
No, the kid went out and took a couple steps into the hall. You know, it's one of those doors that has a glass. The kid started coming back into the classroom, and Marty blocked the door with his foot, so the kid couldn't even back. And yeah, I mean, you know, the whole classroom was there to
observe this.
just to basically, you know, as they investigated it or whatever, the administration, I mean, the whole class, all the kids were there to say this is what happened. And the kid, you know, was like, this story about how he, you know, like slammed the door into him and pushed him up against the wall.
I mean,
You know, and the parents were, you know.
Well, these
ready.
kids are smart. They know how to play the game.
But the bottom line is the administration
It was like
is
totally
on
decided to kids.
the kids.
Oh, sure.
If you get a
No, it's, yeah, you have some administrations that are really, I find every school that I go to, and they're all in the same school district, are so different.
It is
So different.
Oh, the first one you went to was, they're the worst.
Sunnycrest?
I have a cord.
Well, Marty was on probation for a week.
Until they investigated it?
And this was ridiculous.
God.
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't be a full-time teacher now for love nor money.
This is just awful. I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe they went to school.
They don't pay them enough, and they have to put up with more BS than you can imagine.
We
can do this with
You know what?
Just don't mush it up.
It's
Oh, sure it
like
is.
when a parent got
It's mostly the
a
parents.
phone call and they're going, you know, if we ever got
Yeah,
a
the real
phone call,
thing to
we'd
feel
go,
with
what
the
did
kids is
she
like if
do?
they were calling the parents. Now it's just like the parents
Go
are
ahead.
going to hire a lawyer.
They're just, oh, my child couldn't have done that well.
Yeah, no,
They're ready to.
it's crazy. I could not do it full-time.
And that's why our friends are just, well, Marty has one out here, right, next year, and he's done it. Mary's got out. She's just subbing. She doesn't have any facility.
Well, I guess
Yeah, and I think Michael's only saving grace is that he's going to coach. You know, if he had
I
to
don't.
just,
I can't see him. I cannot
If he-
picture Michael being a teacher.
I can't
Sorry.
either.
I can't.
You know, I couldn't either because, well, no, seriously.
I can't.
Seriously, I couldn't
I
either.
want to watch him in class.
Because
I cannot picture.
I went in with him his freshman year to
to
his
So you have to say your intended
his
teacher.
to his advisor to pick his, and he had put down business major because
That's what a lot of the
that's
athletes
what all the athletes.
Yeah.
But you know, I could, you know, and I just
I can't
thought,
see him
well,
doing that either.
whatever, because I can't see him doing like that. He's like Jeff. He's just too honest. I mean, he's not. And so she says, you know, and I didn't say a word through the whole meeting. I didn't say a thing. And she says, you know, I've been reading over your file, and they're so nice at PLU. They're amazing at PLU. She says, been reading through your file, and she goes, I just don't picture you as a business person. And Michael says, well, I don't either, but he says that's what all athletes proclaim as their manager. I just shook my head. And she goes, I picture you as a teacher. So Michael goes, okay.
I can't see it. I really
So that's what he went into, and that's what he got his math.
Well, no, he did history,
History.
and then got his math. Because he can't be a teacher without history.
Right,
He got his master's.
right.
But he's in high school.
Yeah, he's teaching high school. But, you know, and so Alicia and I have been saying, you know, we just cannot picture Michael a teacher. But what I finally thought about was, and I, you